But Matt, my problem with this is, why are we so worried about getting rid of all of the Mexicans or Hispanics that are quote unquote here, if they're illegal or not? At the end of the day, many of them are paying taxes. Many of them have been here for generations and decades. And Matt, trying to get rid of 4 or 5 or 3 million people all at once is not going to work. We don't have the resources.
We don't have to do it all at once.
So as you all have just seen with this, people are saying this was an assault that happened verbally, okay, between these two. I never really watched this kind of show, but obviously it's supposed to be amped up a little bit more, obviously, because it's like a debate kind of thing that's going on. So they're supposed to kind of orchestrated attack. Okay, but not saying that certain information is not true. I kind of find myself to fall somewhere in the middle of the two. Like, I wouldn't say 50-50 that this person's right, this person's right. I would say I'm probably more like a 60-40, more so on that black guy's part and 40% on the other guy's part. Because one of the things, I didn't play the whole thing, but we're talking about, okay, yeah, white people were illegal too. You guys came over here, etc., right? You guys did this, you guys did that. Why are we talking about, immigrants coming into this country when you guys were also the immigrants as well, right? And then it goes into this whole kind of history. And then the white guy, he then says like, oh, why are you bringing up that old stuff, right? Now, this is where I kind of differ a little bit, because at the end of the day, you do need to know your history or you're going to be doomed to repeat it, which we are actually seeing now. Okay, so that's one of the biggest things about it. Okay, but with that being said, there are laws, there are borders, there are rules that need to be followed. I do not 100% agree that just because you are who you are, that you can now miraculously just come across a border, no documentation, no paper, nothing, and we're all just supposed to be like, oh, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, we'll just use our tax dollars for you. Like, that's not, to me, that's not right. And that's what the black guy was actually advocating for. I don't personally agree with that, because at the end of the day, I feel like you need to be following certain rules and certain regulations. Like, so with this, that's why I said I was more kind of like a 60-40 split with this, just because there are rules that you have to follow. Okay. And yes, you also have to know your history. That's a very important thing as well. But you can't just keep letting people come over all the time and not vetting anybody, not checking anything, not seeing like, okay. And even, you need like an ETA, for example, if you go to, I believe it's, London, and other places as well, where they would ask for, that's like it's like $10, and essentially you upload your passport, your photo, and all that kind of stuff. But you need that and your passport. Some of the places, visa, it all depends on where it is that you're trying to go. But that's one of the big things about it, is you need to have your documentations, because they're also going to ask in certain places, okay, I see you're here currently, and your visa, I mean, you're trying to just travel here, right? Be like, yeah, I'm just traveling. Okay. How long? About a week. What's your exit plan? Because you can't stay here. Okay. Like, that's what it is. It's like, okay, this is cute, but when you leave it, okay, we'll take your tourist money, but you gotta go right after. So that's one of the things. I mean, definitely, if it is something that you're going to be doing is traveling, it would behoove you to definitely check it out and, do your research before you go. But let me know what you all think about that down below.